Welcome to Fintechs Fair, where we provide expert insights into the latest developments in financial technology. In today's video, we'll be taking a closer look at the rise of fintech scams, with a particular focus on Revolut, one of the hardest-hit companies in the UK. The fintech sector in the UK is experiencing a surge in fraud cases, especially in authorized push payment (AP) fraud, where victims are tricked into transferring money to scammers. In 2023 alone, the UK saw £460 million lost to these types of scams, leaving consumers struggling to recover their funds. Revolut, a leading app-based banking platform, has been at the center of this crisis, facing thousands of rejected compensation claims and a wave of complaints from victims. Fintech scams take many forms, including identity theft, account takeovers through phishing or social engineering, and unauthorized payments. In some cases, fraudsters use stolen credit card details or compromised accounts to make unauthorized purchases. Another frequent fraud is loan fraud, where criminals use falsified information to obtain loans they never intend to repay. Money laundering is also a significant concern, with scammers using various accounts to hide the origins of illicit funds. Additionally, SIM swap fraud, where scammers take control of a victim's mobile number, allows them to intercept authentication codes and gain access to bank accounts. The damage caused by these scams is substantial. Fintech companies face direct financial losses from fraudulent transactions and increased operational costs to enhance security systems. They also risk regulatory compliance issues and severe reputational damage, which can undermine customer trust. One notable case is that of George Workman, a London-based entrepreneur who lost £10,800 to scammers posing as Revolut fraud agents. Within minutes, the fraudsters had stolen the funds through a Revolut transaction, and despite Workman's attempts to recover the money, it disappeared without a trace. Revolut, which recently obtained a banking license in the UK and is preparing for international expansion, has been hit hard by these rising fraud cases. With over 45 million customers across 38 countries and a recent valuation of $45 billion, the company is facing a significant image crisis. To combat fraud, Revolut has implemented advanced security measures like biometric authentication and automated alerts, claiming a 20% reduction in fraudulent transactions in the UK in 2023. However, many victims like Workman continue to struggle with getting refunds. A significant portion of fintech fraud originates from social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, with 77% of online scams occurring through these channels. Revolut has pointed fingers at tech giants, including Meta platforms, for not doing enough to tackle financial scams. In fact, 60% of fraud cases reported to Revolut come from platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, highlighting the need for greater collaboration between fintechs and big tech to curb this issue. Revolut isn't the only company facing this challenge. Other digital banks, such as TSB Bank, have seen even higher per-customer fraud rates. The ambiguity surrounding gross negligence is further complicating matters, with companies frequently denying refunds on the grounds that customers failed to take appropriate precautions. Revolut has rejected the majority of refund claims, leaving many victims without compensation. In response to the growing fraud crisis, the UK government is implementing new regulations that will come into effect in October 2024. These rules require all banks and fintechs to reimburse fraud victims within 5 days, with the responsibility for refunds shared between the institutions involved. For Revolut, this represents a major challenge, as it must balance increased fraud cases with its ambitious growth plans. The new rules are a step in the right direction for consumer protection, but the road to obtaining refunds remains complex. As the fintech industry continues to evolve, it's clear that fraud prevention will remain a top priority for companies and regulators alike. Stay tuned for more expert insights and analyses here on Fintechs Fair, your go-to source for understanding the ever-changing landscape of financial technology.